Test, test. Well, are you guys listening? Can you hear? Julia, Courtney, is it working? Test, test. Welcome. All right. Should I shut this off then? I have no idea how to shut it off. We'll take care of it too. We'll take care of it. Attention cadets, guests, please find your seats so we can get started with this graduation celebration.
It's great. I have this image for those who are Saturday Night Live fans, a podium that moves forward, but this one is here, fixed. I can't move closer to you, so I'm going to move away from the podium and say welcome to you, Andy. For all of our guests, it's great to have you. Mr. Rodrigo, it's great to speak with you again, and welcome to our great university. And to all the, I don't know where they're all sitting, but all the JROTC cadets and the ROTC cadets who just finished the program, raise your hands. Okay, you're all over the place, meeting lots of people. Congratulations. I know the heat and the weather and the smoke upended plans a little bit, but I think what you learned from this is we have to remain flexible, and I understand that there's a chance to finish some of the activities tomorrow, and perhaps even to leave with the private pilot certification. So good luck to each of you. To all of us, today is commencement at UND, and it signals an important day in the lives of all of our students. And similarly, the experiences that our students had here in this program, I think, signify the same thing. And that is not the end of anything, but rather the start of something bigger. And we always like to talk about the focus of, we do this at universities, but we should do it everywhere. And that's the focus on learning and taking every opportunity to keep learning new things. I know I do that in my life. There's something new every day. And we need to make sure that we put that at the forefront, whether you're flying planes and learning new aircraft, or in the simulator learning new tricks. I don't know if they're tricks, but sorry. New stable controlled maneuvers, I should call them. Or whether you're getting a master's degree or a PhD. The idea is, or working for a firm where you're just doing the daily work. There's always an opportunity to learn new things. And if there's anything we should focus on at a university, it's that activity of learning. And I always like to say, the more you learn, by the way, the more humble you should become. Because as we learn more things, we should realize that other people know stuff too. And just as we develop our own expertise, you have to assume that other people are doing the same thing. And it's important for us to have that sense of appreciation for what the collective group does together. And so today is a celebration of the individual accomplishment, but also the collective work that goes on. All the instructor pilots, all the staff members, all the faculty members, everybody who comes together to make an event like this happen. The event that we're celebrating today, it really requires that sense of teamwork and that sense of constant learning. So keep that up, and always remember that the team is powerful with you in it, and always look out for the interests of the people that you're working with, and really focus on the mission of the team. And congratulations. other programs that we offer at UND and do even more for the Air Force. And we're also having on Monday an opportunity to discuss the future with the U.S. Space Force as well. There's a great opportunity for us to codify an arrangement with them that would bring more students, both at the undergraduate and graduate level, to UND through our space studies, engineering, and science programs as well. So it's a real great opportunity. UND stands by to support our nation. It stands by to support the individuals who are being prepared to do the tough work it is to support our great country. So thanks for being here. It's great to see everyone.
Thank you, President Armacost. And with that, let's have lunch. Cadets, you're probably happy that it's not in Wilkerson. So enjoy lunch, and the program will resume after.
actually going for a pilot swap, and then was given RT out of the academy.
All right, so good afternoon. We know some of you are still finishing eating, so please continue to enjoy your meal. I also know that some folks are on a little bit of a timeline, so we want to make sure we get started and get through our program this afternoon. I'm Beth Bierke. I'm going to serve as our kind of MC this afternoon. I've had the privilege of also being the point of contact, I suppose, for UND's Air Force Junior ROTC Flight Academy, so very excited for this celebration to get started. Up first, we have Mr. Scotty Lewis. He's the Deputy Director of the Air Force Junior ROTC Worldwide Program, and really the main supporter and impetus behind this program. Scotty and I started talking about this program probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it's been amazing to watch it grow with the support of himself and his team at Junior ROTC headquarters. So, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you very much. I'm going to walk in front of the podium, and if the back would just let me know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me okay? Cool. all about working on kids' character, their leadership skills, keep them inside the curves, make sure they graduate from high school. And I will tell you straight up, I love my job. And I just told Mr. Federico I would not trade my job for again, it's because of programs like this. I want to start, though, with just some thank yous. Sir, your university has been remarkably supportive of our program now for 4 years. And really, Beth talked about the genesis. I think 4 years ago at Kalamazoo, Michigan, I was introduced to ABBY and accredited universities and aviation programs, and I had no idea what was out there. And she shared that with me, and we started at that point really kind of formulating a plan to do this thing called Flight Academy. And I want to just really say thank you to Dr. Bernie and Beth, because she'll freely admit, when I first approached her about, hey, we're going to send high school students to take the most challenging course at a university, and oh, by the way, they're going to knock it out in 8 weeks. She's like, it's not going to happen. She goes, how many kids up for us? So we're going to send 10. She goes, well, I think he said maybe 1 or 2 might make it. And I think that first summer, 9 out of 10, completed it. So she went from being, someone that was totally skeptical to becoming this incredible advocate. And I mean in every sense of that word. Every ABBY conference, if the Flight Academy comes up, she's talking about it. And then I think for all the cadets here, you know how much she cares about this program. I mean, her touches on everything. I would tell you, I don't think I've ever called and talked with her that she couldn't tell me something specific about every one of you. And that just, gives you an idea of the level of interest that she has in support. So that, thank you really for everything. For the Missy and all the flight instructors and the entire team here, again, I want to tell you thank you, because we're asking all those moms and dads out there, and I know there's some family members here right now, to say, would you trust, Air Force JROTC to take your sons and daughters and fly them, maybe 100 miles or 1,000 miles away from home for 8 weeks in summertime? Oh, by the way, to learn how to fly. Not, fly a simulator, but actually fly an airplane. And guess what? We've been doing it now, and it's been incredibly successful. So, again, I want to say thank you to you and your entire team. Not just Aaron, thank you. I know just listening to you talk about the collection of instructor pilots and kind of your guidance to them and making sure they took a personal interest in each of the cadets. Really, I thank you. I would tell you, just to me and indicators, I think every one of the cadets referenced the fact that, of course, the smoke and the weather can be issues, but every one of them had the right thing to say, that's what it's outside of control. And they understood that, and I think, again, that's because of the way that you guys have been bringing up here, so thank you very much. For the cadets and all your family members, moms and dads and brothers and sisters from great distances from Tampa and from all over the place, welcome to the cadets. I'm unbelievably jealous. I wish something like this existed. I hear that over and over when I was your age going to high school. It's an incredible opportunity. I think all of you know that. I look forward to seeing where each and every one of you end up. And I promised you all before, and this is so everybody knows, that we will personally work each one of you to make sure you get to completion. And I'll work with Dr. Berkeley on that as well. So good luck to all of you. Sir, I'm going to take a couple minutes. I want to introduce Mr. Federico. And I'm going to use a couple of terms that for the cadets are probably going, what the heck, Mr. was talking about. So he is an assistant secretary of the Air Force, responsible for manpower and reserve affairs. That is a really long, title that really means he is responsible for taking care of about 700,000 people in the Air Force. A huge job. I'll tell you, just talking to his team, and we've had some personal conversations several times. Just based upon my experience with him and then talking to his team that's doing it right now, he is someone that I think every one of us would love to emulate him personally and then also his leadership style. He has taken a personal interest in this program, and it takes someone like him to defend something like this that's incredibly expensive. And there are a lot of people in the Air Force that would love to come in and snatch carpet out from underneath this, but we've got someone like this with a dream that is protecting us every step of the way. And then on a grander scale, he is a huge proponent of Air Force JROTC as a whole. And so I think that I appreciate that. That's on behalf of the whole headquarters group and everybody that's here right now. It's because of him
I'll try to stay a little closer to the microphone since I think they have a camera running, and I greatly appreciate it. So, President Armacost, Dean Faust, Dr. Berkey, thank you so much for everything you're doing for all of the cadets in this room. So, but before I kind of get in, and we're not going to go through all these cards, this is going to make my staff very upset, but we're not going to follow all the cards. I'll use some of them, Colonel Madison, so it'll be okay. Could all the cadets who have been participating in the Flight Academy just please stand at your seat? And I think we owe them a huge round of applause. And please don't sit down yet, but if you're a family member here to watch your cadet graduate today, could you please just raise your hand? Yeah, this is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay, you can all sit down. You don't have to keep standing there being stared at. So thank all of you, Cadets 1, for having the foresight to apply to a program like this. Like Mr. Lewis said, I wish every day a program like this existed when I was your age. I soloed at an airplane when I was 51 years old. You're doing it between 17 and 20 or 21, right? So I lost out on 30 years, right, of enjoyment that you're going to get out of aviation. Every one of you is on a path, whether you end up serving in our Air Force, whether you end up serving in another military service, whether you're flying for an airline, whether you become a doctor, whether you become an attorney, whether you become a university president, you are all on the path to being great citizens, and that's what the country needs, right? And you're here learning to fly, but you're here learning to fly as part of a much broader citizenship program in junior ROTC, ROTC, Civil Air Patrol, all of the programs that the Air Force highly values, the nation highly values, and we highly value those programs because of you, right? We, me and all the other folks that are a couple generations ahead of you are all going to move on, and we're all going to turn the reins over for the nation to you. And I can tell you that just spending an hour with you this afternoon, that I'm pretty comfortable, as are I think the rest of us here, of putting our heads on the pillow at night, knowing that the nation's going to be in great hands. Because young people like you are every single day doing things to prove to us that I would never want to come back and compete with any one of you today. I look at what you're doing at 17, 18, 19 years old, the accomplishments, the academic accomplishments, the personal accomplishments, the extracurriculars that you're all engaged with. And then you still have time to participate in junior ROTC, and then find time to compete for and win an appointment to a flight academy like this. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Mr. Lewis kind of understated his advocacy for how we got here. We would not be here without Mr. Lewis's passionate support for this program. The goal of this program is to produce not only pilots, but citizens. And the goal of this program is to introduce aviation to a broad and diverse part of our society that maybe never thought about ever flying. And when we go around the country and we see these graduation ceremonies and we see the cadets flying, every single day we know that that was the right decision. Every single day. We live in a time when budgets are tight. We live in a time when whether you're running a university or you're running an Air Force, that resources mean everything, right? That we have to be able to make the case for every dollar we spend. And when we make the case for the dollars that we are spending on flight academy programs like this one, it's a pretty easy case to make, because all I have to do is put up a picture like that, right? Literally, we'll go into a budget discussion and other people are coming in with 20 slide decks, and they're laying out numbers, and they're defending why they need to spend money on a particular program. I'm going to put up that slide, and nothing else needs to be said, because that's the future of our nation. It's the future of our Air Force, and you're all going to be absolute key parts of that. So as you're going forward, as Mr. Lewis said, every one of you, we're going to figure out how to make sure that we can get you to completion. When we descended through the layer yesterday, literally we could smell the smoke in the airplane as we got down below the layer and said, what is that? And then we got on the ground and learned that that very smoke we were smelling in the airplane was causing you all great difficulty in meeting the gates of your training. So it's unique. What we loved hearing when we had a chance to talk to all of you earlier, and for the moms and dads and grandparents here, the universal answer was resilience. We're going to get it. Nothing we can do about the weather, but we're going to figure it out and we're going to finish. And that attitude and that go-do attitude is something that's going to carry all of you through life. You're all on the path to great success. We're happy to be a very small part of that success, and we're really, really thankful for the partnership with UND. We started this journey 4.5 years ago here at UND on a multitude of fronts, and it just is a wonderful feeling to come back and see the third tranche of the flight academies graduating here at the same time that we're moving forward with senior ROTC flight programs that we can do with aviation universities and University of North Dakota, because we're right at the center of that discussion. So with that, I know that the most important thing is to bring all these cadets up here and recognize them for all their hard work. But one more time, congratulations. Very, very proud of every one of you. If I could roll the clock back, I would love to be sitting in your chair today, because the sky is the limit for every one of you. You're going to go on and do great things in life, regardless of where you end up. Regardless of what you end up doing for the rest of your life, you're always going to remember this. It's always going to be a significant part of what you did in your youth, and you're going to be an old person like me someday, and you're going to be telling stories about this. So congratulations again, and best of luck to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Federico and Mr. Lewis, for those kind words and for making the trip here to Grand Forks to celebrate this occasion with us. With that, I want to call up a couple of our cadets who are going to be giving the class address. So Cadet Wong and Vaughn, if you want to come up first.
Good afternoon. My name is Cadet Luke Vaughn from Volcano Vista High School in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
My name is Cadet Hong from Johnny H. Geyer High School in Denton, Texas.
We'd like to start out by expressing thanks to those in attendance for today's graduation in person, including our outstanding flight instructors who inspire us to a successful and safe career in aviation. Today's distinguished guests, administrators including University President Armcost, Dean of Aerospace Sciences Robert Krause, Associate Dean of Aerospace Sciences Dr. Elizabeth Bierke, Assistant Chief Flight Instructor Aaron Fedig, and Academic Advisor Kim Higgs, as well as Lieutenant Colonel Jason Evans, among others, who worked in coalition with AF JROTC leadership to make this program possible for all of us. Additionally, we would like to send out our appreciation to the outstanding individuals who guide us through the Flight Academy who may not be in attendance today, notably our outstanding ground school instructor, Mrs. Leslie Martin, and Assistant Chief Flight Instructor John Rudolph.
We'd also like to thank our friends and families viewing abroad throughout the United States today. We wanted to speak today to show our appreciation to our amazing colleagues, teammates, and friends that we developed within these last 9 weeks.
My journey began before sunrise, with a packed bag, a plane ticket, and not being able to spell the word aileron. My life changed the moment I sat down in that seat and watched the city I called home shrink and fade through the clouds as I ascended to the unknown world of new beginnings and opportunity.
My journey began a week before the flight. I had never traveled to a different state in my life since I was 6 years old, and I had no idea how I should prepare. I had many struggles throughout this foreign process, the biggest one being the packing. I'm sure all of you already guessed what happened, but I'll say it anyways for comedic purposes. I had overpacked by a lot.
I did not know what to expect when I was told I was going to the University of North Dakota. I was greeted by a beautiful campus on flat land as far as the eye can see. Arriving in North Dakota, we were greeted by our great mentors, Julia and Jason, who helped us study, survive a college setting, and enjoy our summer over 1,000 miles from home.
I'm speaking on behalf of my personal experience. This was a brand new experience for me, and I enjoyed my newfound freedoms for a while. It was nice having my own room, being at a place where it wasn't so hectic and loud due to my 3 younger siblings. However, I can attest that over time I started to miss the energy, the routines that my house had because of them.
For me, I missed home. I missed the warm, dry New Mexico air, but most of all, I missed my family and friends. I knew I came to UND for a reason, and I needed to do my best in accomplishing as much as I could in the short time span. When we arrived, we were praised as exceptional people, and we were given 9 weeks to prove it.
I can vouch firsthand that these people I've lived with, learned with, and became closer to every day are nothing short of extraordinary.
I was able to overcome the separation from home, knowing that they supported me more than I could have ever asked for. I survived this fast-paced, challenging program by finding a strength in myself and having a network of support back home and here in Grand Forks.
I've learned lessons from myself, making me a better student than ever before, but I've also learned lessons from those around me that I'll hold on to for the rest of my life, from creative ways to cook an egg in a mug and flaps full of perch stabilized.
Thank you to all who have made a difference in our success. We could not have done this without you.
Finally, we would like all of you to remember that for us, the sky is not the limit. It is only the start of our story, and we can only climb from there.
There is no one I'd rather share the sky with. We aimed high.
Now we can fly
Fly.
and win.
Thank you.
Thank you, cadets. I know one of the great benefits of this position is watching you grow over the summer. I remember our first evening together and taking a group of you to Walmart, and you were all pretty quiet. You know, you were a little hesitant, not knowing what to expect, not sure you ever really shopped for yourselves at Walmart either before. Then having you at my house Sunday evening, you could just really feel the bonds and the friendship. So again, we encourage you to keep those connections up. Aviation is a small world, and I think U.S. Air Force aviation is even smaller, so great job. Next up, we have Cadet Garcia and Lewis.
All right. Good afternoon. I'm Cadet Garcia, and I decided to speak in front of you all today to share my summer experience. It all started in March when I received an email that said I would be attending the University of North Dakota for the Flight Academy program. I'm not going to lie, when I first read that email, I was shocked because never in a million years would I have ever thought I'd be living in North Dakota. All my life, I grew up in the big city of Tampa, Florida, so I had no idea what to expect coming to Grand Forks. All I knew is that I was excited to learn how to fly, but scared of feeling lonely. I was afraid that I wouldn't make friends easily, or that I would feel homesick. Usually it takes me a while to open up to people, but that wasn't the case this time. I've only known my 11 friends for 2 months, but it feels like I've known them for years. After the first few days of getting to know each other, we all clicked instantly, and my fear of feeling lonely was no longer there. I'd like to think of myself as the photographer of the group, because everywhere I go, I always carry this disposable camera with me. My goal at the end of these 2 months were to fill all 3 of my cameras with memories for everyone to look back on. I was able to develop some pictures from my first camera, and now using those pictures, I will describe some of my favorite memories made with the group. This was our first movie night. I knew we would be good friends that night because out of all the movies and TV shows that we could have picked, we all agreed to watch Avatar. Not the movie with the blue people, but Avatar: The Last Airbender, which if you didn't know is a cartoon show for little kids. Something that my mom has always taught me was to celebrate everyone's birthday no matter what. We had 2 birthdays this summer, first Olivia's, then Kyle's. So one day, Leroy, Kyle, and I decided to bike to Hugo's to buy a birthday cake. The reason why I decided to include this memory is because after we brought the cake, we realized it was too big to fit in the bike's front basket. So I put the cake sideways in the basket and prayed that it got back to UND all in one piece. Everyone was amazed by my effort in biking with the cake, and even though it was a struggle, it was all worth it. Another one of my favorite memories was planning Leroy's going away party and Kyle's birthday party. One thing they both have in common was listening to country music, so the girls and I surprised them with a Western cowboy themed party. It was a great night as we played card games, ate snacks, and listened to country music throughout the night. We were all sad to see Leroy leave the next morning, but we were glad he at least got to enjoy his last night at UND with everyone. I think my #1 favorite memory made with the group was at the Grand Forks County Fair. This was Joseph's first time ever at a fair, so my goal was to ride all the rides with him until he begins to feel dizzy. That plan ended up backfiring on me because by the end of the night, my head could not stop spinning and Joseph was perfectly fine. Before we came to the program, Lexi had an idea to get a pet fish, but we never fully went along with it until the perfect opportunity was there at the fair, and that night was when we got a fish and named it Sue. The next day, we went to PetSmart and brought a small fish tank and food for Sue. He looked happy and he was doing good until 2 days later. He passed away. After Lexi and I determined the cause of his death was because he was a fish fair and it wasn't our fault, we went back to PetSmart and got more fish. One of Jillian's favorite activities was riding bikes, or as she would say, mob around. We all would go on many bike journeys together, and even though one day Jillian got us lost, I'm pretty sure she knows every corner of Grand Forks now. As I can go on and on for days talking about all the memories we've made together, I wanted to let my friends know that I'm thankful for each and every one of them, and they have made this experience 10 times better. I would like to thank one of our RAs at Selkie, Michaela, for taking care of us like her own children, and I know she's going to be an amazing teacher one day. I would like to thank our mentors, Jason and Julia, for always being there for us and helping us study late at night. I would like to thank my CFI, Danielle, for being an amazing instructor and cheering me on through every step of the way. Last but not least, I would like to thank everyone involved with the Air Force Flight Academy program for giving me this opportunity to do something that I love, and I will definitely be pursuing a career in aviation. I cannot wait to see what the future has in store for us. Thank you.
Well, good. So I did have a few prepared words of thanks as well, but I think the cadets said it way better than I could have. So again, I want to thank everyone for being here today, especially the family and friends that traveled to Grand Forks. We know it's not easy to get to, and those that are hopefully tuning in during our live stream as well. To trust us at the University of North Dakota with your family members just means the world to us. And it's a privilege to work in this program and see how you have grown throughout the summer months. So one group I would like to stand to be recognized are the ones that really make this happen. So we can plan the program, we can put all the pieces together, but when it comes to really teaching a new pilot how to fly, the flight instructors are just crucial in that work. So please, Missy, Steve, Gunnar, Tyler, Nick, all of you that are here, please stand up and be recognized. These are the ones that flew hours upon hours with our students. And they never could have gotten where they are today without that. So thank you. We know you train a lot of students. This is great. So thanks for being with us this afternoon. I also want to put a special recognition out to Colonel Evans from our Air Force ROTC detachment. It is so vital for this program to be successful to have that close tie between the university and the ROTC detachment. Not only did he recommend some of our mentors, so Jason McSweeney is an Air Force ROTC student at UND, and Julia Vitali is an Army ROTC student here at UND. He spent time with our cadets, mentored them, played ultimate frisbee, took them to the air base. But again, that partnership is really important when it comes to making a program like this work on a college campus. And of course, thank Dr. Kim Higgs for helping get all the students initially at least registered and IDs and all those logistics figured out, and Mr. Aaron Fedig too for closely monitoring. I think together we had a lot of texts and phone calls, their flight progress throughout the summer. So with that, let's take a look at how the summer progressed. I always love these pictures. These are when the cadets first arrived at UND. They flew into Fargo, and thanks to Julia and Jason making the trek down there a couple times that day to pick them up and bring them back to UND. We had our first group dinner. Dean Krause joined us at Wilkerson. We got our first team photo. Again, everyone's bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, fresh, excited for the summer. And then the first morning, Mr. Fedig did the first briefing with the students. And again, hopefully by this time, we're starting to get indoctrinated on what an aileron is and what the summer had entailed. Again, I think the biggest benefit is just seeing. We see a lot of maturation happen at a university, but what you guys have grown into in just these 8.5, 9 weeks is amazing from that first day, and hopefully you feel it as well to where we are today. I'm so proud of all of your accomplishments. Amazing group of cadets. They just keep getting better and better every summer we host this program. So great job to all of you. A lot to be excited for. So let's take a little bit, Flight Academy of numbers. I'm a data person, so I like numbers. So if we start off, we had 9. We have 9 cadets with us here today. We had 9 weeks. We're about 8.5, 8 3/4 weeks into the program. During those 9 weeks, each of you sat through 72 hours of Aviation 102 with Professor Martin, and with that, you also took 72 exams. How'd that go? So again, busy 8 weeks. And again, academically, this was a very strong class, excelled in the ground school. But then if we look at the flight line, we had almost 517 flight hours were accomplished in just this 8 weeks. And then to add on to that with our CFIs in the room, that also equated to 812 hours of instruction given. Now that could have been briefing, sims, and aircraft time. So it's been a busy 8 weeks, and I'm very proud of all your success. With that said, yes, we did have a little bit of a smoke issue, and again, my heart goes out to watch this. We said the first night not to be competitive with each other in the program. I know Dean Krause gave you that advice. We talked about that. It's kind of that human nature. I admit I'm always competitive with classes after class, so of course throughout the summer comparing your progress with our 2018 class and our 2019 class. And in the first 4 or 5 weeks, you guys were crushing it. You were 5 lessons ahead of where the other classes were. And I kind of sat back thinking, this is going good. This is going to be a graduation. Everyone's going to be done 2 weeks in advance. Cadet Spanier was setting our UND record, I think, and finishing the program. He was 18 lessons in on just 3 weeks in. So then the unfortunate smoke. But like Mr. Federico said and Mr. Lewis said, you guys are this close to becoming a private pilot. We are going to work with you. We are going to finish up those last lessons. They may not be at the University of North Dakota. They may be back home because many of you start high school on Wednesday. Or Kyle, you started this week high school already. So we do need to get you home and with your families to continue your education. But just like we had our weekly meetings, kind of our touch points, our progress checks, guess what? I'm going to continue that as you go home weekly until I hear from you and get proof that you've got that private pilot certificate. So we're here for you. We are going to work those logistics, and I'm excited to see you become private pilots in the very near future. So with that, let's get to the cadet recognition. I'm going to ask a few individuals to please come up. How this is going to work because of the live stream. Cadets, we need you coming down this way where you'll be presented with your certificate, diploma, as well as your new patches with the Air Force with the wings on them. So if I could ask President Armacost, Dean Krause, and Colonel Laird to take your posts. Thank you. All right, so up first I want to introduce Cadet Jillian Fenner. So we're excited Jillian will be continuing her studies at UND in the fall. Up next, Nicole Garcia, Cadet Nicole Garcia. Nicole is going to be continuing her aviation studies at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach this fall. Next up, we have Cadet Joseph Wan. And Joseph, please continue to Dr. Higgs. Cadet Alexis Lewis. And Alexis will be continuing her studies at UND this fall as well. Cadet Olivia Petros. Cadet Kyle Ross. They're quick learns. Cadet Luke Vaughn. Cadet Jacob Spanier. Yeah. And Cadet James Wagenblast. Again, congratulations, cadets. Feel free to open your little gift. It's kind of a memory gift from where you started and where you hopefully will end up in your aviation careers. And with that, I'm going to invite Dean Kraus for our closing remarks.
Thanks, Beth. And I want to echo the thank you to everyone else, everyone that participated in getting this luncheon together and the entire program together. And this program would not have happened at UND without Beth, without the incredible work she's put into this over the last couple of years. So as many of you heard, both General Armacost and I, President Armacost and I, have a long history with the Air Force, and so that's one of the reasons we're so passionate about supporting this program. This is a pathway to the Air Force and to a career in aerospace, a career in aviation, a career in law or medicine, whatever you choose to do. And so we salute you for the effort that you put into this summer, wherever you do end up. And so we hope that we opened up your eyes to other paths that are out there, primarily the aviation path. I do want to echo that we are going to be following up and making sure that we get you done. In the end, it's our responsibility on behalf of the trust put in us by the Air Force to ensure you're getting done. And so we salute you for that. And I consider you alum of UND, at least of this program. And so one of the things I do say, especially for the ones that are going into, if you're going to join ROTC at the unit wherever you're going, or you're going to go into a flight training program, a lot of you thank the mentors that you had that helped you here. I look to you to be the mentors 2 and 3 years from now for that next group of students because of what we did here at UND. And so we hope we gave you a little bit of the taste of the North. So for those that are from down south, and you know, a year ago, I was not coming to North Dakota. I had never been to North Dakota. 6 months ago, I came to North Dakota, and I'm not leaving. I love it here. And so this is a great institution, it's a great school, it's a great college, it's a great flight training program, and we're here for you. And so I want to thank all the families again, both in person and online. Enjoy the day, enjoy the rest of your summer, and good luck in your senior year that's already started. So thank you.